Youths of the African Democratic Congress have declared that their party will defeat President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 elections, regardless of who becomes chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. They warned against any attempt by the president to manipulate the process of appointing a successor to Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, whose tenure ends in December 2025. Speaking under the African Democratic Youth Congress in Abuja, the youth said they were prepared to resist any plan by the ruling All Progressive Congress to subvert the people's will. They stressed that no amount of money or strategy from the APC will stop Nigerians from voting for change. Citing remarks by Tinubu's aide, Bayo Onanuga, the youth said they were ready to match fire for fire in defending democracy and would use their numbers to ensure the ruling party is roundly defeated in the coming polls. What do you make of this story, Chief Jackson Lekojo?
Well, as a security person, as a security expert, one thing I will never take for granted is a threat.
Right.
And I will never take any information for granted as well. Because you don't know somebody that is talking publicly. You are just looking at the frame. You don't know what is cooking for him, what is beating the drum for him. And that is one. Two, today, with the consultation I've been doing across the country, I've discovered that when they say ADC youths, I want to clearly tell you that it's nothing less than 80% of Nigerian youths that are suppressed, that are oppressed, that are suffering, that are out of school, that could not treat themselves when they are sick, that do not have anything, clothing, food, or whatever. They've all seen ADC now as a platform that could rescue them. They may not be registered member of ADC, but they have sympathy for ADC. So when people are speaking, when they are saying ADC youths, that is to say 80% of Nigerian youths.
How did you arrive at that conclusion that is?
Because I know that 80% of Nigeria, nothing less than 80% of Nigerian youth now are roaming the street.
That doesn't translate to ADC membership, does it?
I have said it. I said these people don't have sympathy for ADC, believing that since this vehicle that took them this time around could not deliver them at their destination, this oncoming vehicle may be the one to take them. There is no assurance for that anyway, but just because of the situation we are facing today. But then, Mr. President and APC could deflate that pressure that is building. Are they going to deflate them? You don't know them, so there is no way you could go for their arrest, even if you want to arrest. And when these people troop out to want to vote, if 80% of Nigerians will stand that say election cannot be rigged, there is no power that will be more than that. But then, if there are some policies being implemented by this administration that is not too good, or is delaying from showing the dividends or giving the dividend of democracy to this youth we are talking about, it could be reviewed. It is not that any particular person, people that are complaining about Tinubu today, people that are complaining about APC today in Nigeria because of the hardship, it does not mean that they hate the person of Mr. President. It does not mean that they hate the operators of APC, but they hate the system. And they hate what the system is giving to them. So if Mr. President can change and APC could change their method, definitely people will change as well. So between now and 2027, a lot of achievement is there that Mr. President can change and people will no longer be crying again.
In your opinion, you think that the masses are against the administration of President Bola Tinubu?
It's not that I think, I know.
Okay.
It's not that I think, I know. I know the numbers of, that's why my lowly place, I know the numbers of people that send me messages, their account number. I know the numbers of people that beg me for school fees. and others. I know the numbers of people that say they can't go to church because they don't have clothing and others. I know a lot of people that comes to my house on a daily basis to beg for food, despite the fact that even me, I'm just managing myself. That is it. So the news is across the country. It's only somebody that pretending, and those people that are lying to Mr. President. To me, if I'm Mr. President today, I will send a particular delegate to go and be listening to what people are saying. But for people to say, hey, we are crying, and some people will go to Mr. President, people are hailing you. Those are the people that are misleading Mr. President. If you want to do well as a leader, listen to the opposition. Listen to the cry of the people. You will know. But if you are thinking, whatever your people are coming to tell you, you rely on the information that your personal assistant, special advisor are coming to give you, they will mislead you. The country is not smiling. People are crying. People are dying in hospital for just 10,000 naira.
And now, to a large extent, you feel that, because when you say that 80% of the youths on the streets, the youth speaking represent the 80% of Nigerian youths on the streets, one would now be looking at other people. You still have youths in the Kwakwasia movement. You still have youths in the obedient movement. And obedient movement is also massive. In fact, obedient movement is predominantly the youths. So one would say, how is the 80% of Nigerian youths now in ADC?
No, I'm not saying they are in ADC.
Okay, what you're saying is the position of the ADC youths it reflects the state of mind of Nigerian youths.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
That is what I'm saying. I'm not saying they are carry member or... Yeah. I say some of them are supporters of ADC, and some of them are sympathizers of APC. They don't have sympathy for APC. Some of them are seeing APC as the way to go.
Now, do you think that this threat by the ADC youths that the ADC is going to beat President Bola Tinubu in 2027, do you see this threat as a real threat that might happen?
I'm a Yoruba man. I'm a Baptist. I resigned from APC. I don't have sympathy for any political party again, but I'm going to have sympathy for a candidate.
Okay.
If I want to be truthful, I can tell you today that it is not just ordinary threat. That is what will happen 2027. People will massively vote against APC and Mr. President. As I'm sitting down here, I am going to mobilize against Mr. President and APC. Why am I doing this? Not because I will have sympathy for any other person anyway, but then the present situation we are passing through in this country today, if it continues in the next 3 years, you will see highest level of criminality. As a security expert, I know it for a very long time that the highest manure you can give to criminality to grow is poverty. And Nigerians are passing through that poverty now. When you have 1,000 naira some 3 years ago, you can eat mama put morning, afternoon, night. 1,000 naira now cannot get you a good loaf of bread now. 1,000 naira now cannot get you. There is a particular place not far from your office there that I used to buy mama put. The last time I tell them to give me mama put 1,000 naira, they told me clearly that means there won't be meat. For me to get the one I will eat with meat, the meat is like fingernail. You understand? 2. Everything cost me 2,500 for a meal. And not quite long when I left the studio, I had to run to go and eat somewhere again. How many Nigerians today that can carry 2,000 naira to eat money? Eat in the afternoon, eat in the night, 6,000 naira. What are their daily income? What is the value of money? What is the value? There's a particular supermarket which I'm not going to advertise here, that when they came, heavily people rushed there to buy their bread. A loaf of bread was 400 naira, but a loaf of bread now is 2,000 naira. That is it. How much is a bottle of Coke now? And we are not saying it is the government that brought about this, but it is during the government that it happens. How many Nigerians now, people, before all these people doing mason, bricklayer and carpenter, all that, before you know what is happening, some of them a day they take more than 3-4 Coca-Cola. How many of them that can carry 500 naira now to go and buy small Coke for 500 naira? That is what we are talking about. But if this thing, if this food insecurity, hardship and other thing is no longer there or reduced to a barest minimum, definitely what we are talking about will not be talking about it again. People will change their mind again. People will carry placard and say, hey, Tinubu will continue. So what I'm saying in essence is that this is not a criticism. What I'm saying in essence is that there is still room for them to improve, to make Nigerians happy. If they don't make Nigerians happy, if anybody go to rig election, people will protest violently. And we are not praying for that. We have a lot of insecurity in our arms. There is no situation that can, if anybody rig any election now, you will make people angry. Anger will bring about violent protest. And we don't want that for now. We don't even want it anytime.
All right, very well.